Okay. Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Christina Taylor here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from North Canton, Ohio. And today I am going to share with you some products from Celebration, which started January 5th of 2023 and will continue on through February 28th of 2023. So we're going to use today I'm going to share with you a couple of the various things that are in that celebration promotion that you can earn free with either $50 or $100 purchase. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then also some items out of the new January through April occasions catalog. And this first project that we're going to do, I'm going to be using some carryover items that carried over from the holiday catalog. So I think that's really it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera down to get started. It is very cold here in North Canton, Ohio today. Chilly. Yesterday it was 60 degrees, and today it's a high of 35, and it's snowing. Actually, I think it's colder than that now. I think the high of 35 was this morning, and the temperature has just dropped. So it's been snowing all day, and it's supposed to carry over into the weekend. So which is pretty typical for Ohio. The 60 degrees, not so much for Ohio. So, okay, let me turn the camera down and we will go ahead and get started. Okay, all right. Let's see. If there is something that you see in the projects that we do today that you would like to order and you're not working with a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to earn your business and appreciate all orders. And my online store, you can find that at stampingyoucrazy.stampinup.net. My current hostess code is YK9JZRAE. And just enter that prior to checkout, and it will connect to the online party that I have open. Anyone using this code gets you eligible for the card kits that I give away each month. So I was doing it to where I had one card kit for an order, and then if you had your orders over 35, it was 2 card kits, and then order 50, it was 3. And I've just found out through just kind of looking and monitoring things that most everyone orders $50 or over when they're ordering because the online shipping is $7.95. So, especially during celebration, if you're close to 50, you want to push it up and get that $50 item or get that $50 purchase price so you can get a celebration item for free. So, with your $50 or above order, you will get this month's 3-card kit, little extra thank you from me. So, again, just remember to use the hostess code. So, a couple things to recap here. Before we get started stamping. So I've got the classes coming up at the North Canton Y. We just had the Let's Celebrate Everything card class, which is the things that I will be sharing with you. And coming up on January 29th, which is the last Sunday of January, we have a Crafternoon Tea card class. The way the flyer was written, it would appear as though we're doing tea cards, and that is really not the case. The marketing person that drew this up, when I saw that, I was like, that's not really how I would have put that, but I didn't make the flyer, so I can't really alter that. Anyway, that is just a fun class for Sunday afternoons from 1:30 to 3:30. And we will just be doing some all occasion cards. And because I'm calling it a Crafternoon Tea, we either enjoy a cup of hot tea or cocoa. I'm not a coffee drinker, so if I can figure out how to do the coffee, I will do that as well. But just for you to kind of take in an afternoon of stamping with other stampers and enjoy that afternoon of creativity. So for members, it's $21. For non-members, non-wine members, it's $23. And of course, you can order a kit to go. And those kits to go, those are reserved directly through me. The registration for classes is done through the Y. But kits to go are $23 as well. And we make 8 cards in that class. So it's 8 cards, 2 each of 4 different designs. And that includes envelopes and everything. And yeah, think that's it. So yeah, for $21 and $23. And then also coming up then February 15th, we have a little bit of sunshine class. And that class is going to be great because, I mean, especially during the winter, who does not love a little sunshine delivered right into their mailbox? And these cards are meant to cheer others up, give a pick me up, or just like a, hey, how you doing, friend? I'm just touching base with you. So make sure to join us for that one too. So as I mentioned, celebration is going on. So the items in this little mini catalog are the ones that you can earn for free with a $50 or $100 purchase. Various months of the papers have been hugely popular, particularly the farm paper. If you're ordering at at the farm bundle, this paper is just a must-have with that particular set. But there's some great products in here, and we're going to use a variety of them today that I'll share with you. Also, a great join promotion if your order, if you have an order that's around $125, you can join Stampin' Up! For $129 or $99, depending on the one of the three options that you choose. But never before have they offered the little cut and emboss machine, the mini, as part of the joint offer. So that is a fabulous promotion. You can get $175 worth of Stampin' Up! Product, your choice, of course. And this mini cut and emboss machine, either in the boho blue or the white, for $129. And that includes the paper pumpkin as well and all your business supplies. So that's kind of a great join promotion for sure. So like I said, if you have an order that's around $125, or if you have an order that's $175, turn it into the starter kit and get yourself a discount on your future products as well. So this is an additional $50 in free products in the kit than what we normally have. So the celebration is kind of like a double promotion. You get more shopping dollars, and you get an opportunity to get this little guy at 50% off. So in that starter kit. And then we also have the January through April mini catalog. And again, we're going to be using some of the items out of this catalog too. If you do not have demonstrator that you're working with and you want to get a copy of these catalogs, just message me. My email is stampmecrazy@sbcglobal.net. So you can just reach out to me. And those aside here, remember to give me a thumbs up for this video. And if you haven't done so already, like, subscribe, do all the things. Feel free to share it as I work to try and build my online community through YouTube. So I appreciate those little shout outs. So, okay, we are going to go ahead and get started. Let me get Stampin' Mat. All right, so first what we're going to do, this project that we're working on here first, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek of it. So this is the project that I created using the rings, the Ringed with Nature stamp set and bundle. So let me share with you kind of what I'm using on this particular project. So the inks that we're using are Blackberry Bliss, Pound Cake, and Soft Suede. I'm also using the Bow Punch. We're going to punch out this little stem here. So I've got that. The Ringed with Nature stamp set, which is a great all occasion kind of stamp set. You got this little house in here, which is kind of cute. You can obviously change the colors of that to match like any house you might need to send a housewarming card to, or just a neighborhood kind of thing. And you've got these various different images in here that can it kind of encompasses all seasons. Like this would be, you could use that for flower or poinsettia. Give yourself that poinsettia image. Some fall leaves, some spring flowers. These are like little mushroom tops that I've also seen these little guys done and made little gumdrops out of them. So, and then you can flip them, of course, over, and then you're making an acorn out of them. So this is the little top of the acorn, flip it over. And then some great greetings, and as well as the tree ring stamp. So with the stamp set, you can also get the tree rings, hybrid embossing folder, and dies. So you've got this embossing folder and the dies, and I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Let's see. We're going to use that. I'd already die cut them, but I want to take this out in case you have not seen this used, or you didn't get an opportunity to come to the class. You'll get a closer look at it here. So we're using this group of products. These did carry over, so you can find those on the carryover page in the January through April catalog. They will be in the back there. They're still available. Then we're also using the Charming Sentiment stamp set. I've used this before. It's a great all occasion stamp set, and also comes with a set of dies that will die cut every single one of these verses, these greetings out. So on this one, I'm doing the wishing you everything wonderful. So actually, I am going to change this. I am going to change this, I think. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I was thinking about using a different greeting. So, okay. And then I've also grabbed some Blackberry Bliss twine that was Stampin' Up. We had that a while ago. It is retired, but you know, you can dye any of our twine, our white twine. You can dye it any color. So know that that is always an option. All right, let's start with our supplies. Let me share with you what got here. I went ahead and die cut that little guy out. So we've got a very vanilla envelope. Then we've got a piece of crumb cake that is 5.5 by 8.5. Then I've got 2 pieces of very vanilla that are 4 by 5.25. And again, we've got 2 pieces of those. Then I just got a scrap of crumb cake and a scrap of very vanilla that we're going to use for some die cutting. Then you'll also need pieces of hair pizzazz, which I've got here, and then I forgot to grab a piece of the Blackberry Bliss. You just need scrap pieces because we're going to die cut little flowers out. My goodness, what did I do with it? There it is. So I used this die here, and then I used these 2 leaf dies, and I cut those out of Hair Pizzazz and then cut this one out of Blackberry Bliss, which I've gone ahead and done. And I will show you those, but I did grab them out of that same die set. All right, so let's go ahead and envelope side. We're going to start by folding our card base in half. Grab my bone folder to flatten that crease. Right. And then the first thing that we want to do, and I wanted to bring, I probably should have done this beforehand. So I'm going to take and put one of the pieces of the very vanilla in the embossing folder. And I didn't go ahead and emboss that. So just let me step over to my cut and emboss machine and I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I tried to get those things done beforehand, but I forgot to do that. Okay. So I ran that through and it embossed those tree rings onto our vanilla cardstock. So we've got that done. Now, next, what I'm going to do, and I did go ahead and pre-do this crumb cake tree ring. So I want to show you how I accomplished that. So this embossing folder is a hybrid embossing folder, which means it can take the die in the embossing folder. So it sets right in there. There's just like a little groove. It'll set right in there. And then you'd put the cardstock in, okay, like so. Close this and run it through the cut and emboss machine, just like you would run the embossing folder through. And when you do that, you get this. It cuts out the tree ring and embosses it at the same time. Pretty cool, right? So we've got that for our card. And then next, what we're going to do So I'm going to take this piece of Very Vanilla, and this is the die cut for the inside of the tree ring. And I'm going to run that through so we've got a piece to be able to stamp on. So we'll run that through. And that is going to give us this piece here. So it fits like, hopefully I've done the right one. You know what, as I look at it, I don't know that I did. Let me grab a different. We'll figure this out. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness, the magic of live TV. So that is the inside of the little tree ring that we're going to do our stamping on. So that being said, the other pieces that I went ahead and die cut that I was showing you before, let me show you those. So I did 2 of the ones with the little berries on it, and then 2 of the green stems in the Pear Pizzazz. This was the Blackberry Bliss. And then I want one of these little on the bow punch. I just want one of these little guys, not the big stem, but the little. So I'm just going to take my cardstock and insert that just in that corner to punch one of those out. And we'll set that aside. Okay. So now we've got all of our die cut pieces. We're ready to do a little stamping here. So I have gone ahead and mounted all the stamps that we're going to use, or that I'm going to use. But I did put a happy anniversary on the block, which is how I did the original card. But I actually think I want to make this one a get well soon, because I just got word that I had a friend who had an accident and needs a little bit of cheer. So I'm finding a block here. And I'm like, let me tweak this card because I think it will be perfect for her. So I'm going to take the happy anniversary off the table, and I will bring this back. So when stamping the little inside of the tree the tree ring, I just want to make sure I'm putting it the right way. Like, how do I want mine set as far as on the card? And I think I want it this way. So I want to make sure to obviously stamp my words up towards the top, but this way. I'm going to do that in Blackberry Bliss. And actually, I'm going to do the front Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to do the Get Well Soon in Soft Suede. So I'm going to ink that up. And because these are photopolymer stamps, I'm going to stamp it on my foam mat. So I've got that Get Well Soon. Just clean this off with my chamois. And then I want to put a little heart on there. I think that's, yeah. Do a little heart. Blackberry Bliss. Nice. Okay. Once you use your polymer stamps on anything that has a red undertone, pink undertone, the stamps just become that color. They're stamped perfectly fine still. It's just they become, they have that shade on them. So we're going to take the tree ring stamp, and I'm going to stamp that in some crumb cake. Which I'm thinking somebody at class must have stamped it in something in the Blackberry Bliss, I guess, because it's pink and red now. So, you know, to each his own. So I'm going to stamp that right in the corner. And I think while I have this stamp out, I'm going to bring my envelope. And you know what? I'm going to stamp it right on the back of so it will look like a seal almost, a tree ring seal. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with these little stamps, the floral stamps that were in the stamp set, and put those in the Blackberry Bliss. And this is a 2-step stamping stamp set. So I've got the stems, and then I've got the little blossoms. I'm just going to over top there, try to line that up. So I've got those little guys on there. I don't want to do the same thing on my piece for the inside layer. So on this one, I'm going to stamp 2 of those and then come back in with the blossoms for the top. And again with the other side. And we'll clean these off. So I think we've got all of our stamps done. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna do I'm gonna actually ink up also, as like I said, I'm kind of changing this one on the fly a bit here. I am going to use the yeah. So I've got the Get Well Wishes on the front, and then I'm going to put the Thinking of You on the inside so I can write a bit of a message. And what color do I want to do that in? Maybe crumb cake. So I think those two will go together nicely. Get Well Soon, and then the Thinking of You. Put that right in the center. Okay. All right, so we have got all of our stamping done. And these things aside. So now we're going to build our card. Let's start by putting this embossed piece on, and I'm just using my Tombow adhesive, which I need to like get it to come down into the dispenser area because for some reason it's stuck. It must be cold like everything else. I mean, I literally have my heater right next to me here. It's chilly today. Let's see, don't want that one on. Think about how I want to put that on there. I want the little ones at the top. Okay. And then this one in. On our inside. Okay. And then we've got our little tree ring that we had created, and I want to go ahead and glue that smooth inside layer onto our embossed cutout stump tree ring. I always want to say stump, but it's a tree ring, but I know you get what I'm saying. And then because we've got all these embossed layers, I'm not going to put this on with dimensionals. I'm just going to put it straight on my card. No dimensionals for this one because we've got quite a few layers by the time we build our floral kind of arrangement. Will that on. And then I'm going to kind of think about how I want to do these. So I'm just going to place them there just to get an idea. And the reason I came in with this little punch to get this other little sprig of color here, I'm just going to snip off that end, is because there was like a lot of dark there, and then I'm going to put the there's a lot of the Blackberry Bliss, and then I'm going to put the ribbon there. So I wanted like a pop of color there to kind of break up all the Blackberry Bliss. So if I come in and tie this bow, I just like to tie my bows right off the spool. So I'm going to that little string was right wrapped through my loop there. I couldn't tighten it down. Okay. Great. So I'm going to just put a little adhesive on some of these little links because they're not they're not real bulky heavy dies. So you don't have to really load them down with adhesive, just a little bit on those leaves will do the job. Holding it in place. And down a little bit. And one more here. That one in place. And then we've got this little guy. And that one right on top of those two little berry stems. And then grab some glue dots here. Yeah, dimensionals are coming out, everything. Okay, these are just some glue dots from Paper Pumpkin Kit. So I'm going to put 2 of those down because I want to get a little control over where those little loops go. So that'll be perfect. That knot will fit right on top of it. There we go. Great, and there we go. So we've got a get well soon card with thinking of you. I can use that to send a little sunshine my friend's way as she's recovering from an accident. So okay, let me clean this up. Oh, let me show you the other one. So this is my original one that I did with, and I made it a happy anniversary. The happy anniversary stamp is in the Ringed in Nature stamp set. And then I put inside there from the Charming Sentiments, wishing you everything wonderful. So I'm really happy with the way this card turned out. I think you could really use this layout for a variety of different things. I know several ladies at the class made it a Valentine's Day card. They put the Happy Valentine's Day on there. Some did a get well soon, some did the happy anniversary, some did birthday, and some just did a thank you because they just liked the simplicity of the card. So, okay, I will switch this out and be back with another project. Okay, all right, this next one that we're going to do features these adorable owls, which is the name of the stamp set. This is from the Celebration brochure, and you can earn this for free with a $50 purchase with these cute little owls that can be stamped by themselves, or you can, or stamped alone, like just in a single color. You can stamp them in a basic color and color them in, like I'm going to do here on this particular project. And then you've got a couple of great little fun greetings there. Sorry, I needed to grab a drink of water there. Okay, so we're using that stamp set, and this is the cling mounted stamp set. We're using the Calypso Coral blends. Also the Memento Black ink. When you're coloring with the blends, you want to use the Memento Black instead of StazOn. That ink is designed to work well with the Stampin' Blends. And then the Calypso Coral is the other ink that we're going to use. We've got a blending brush to do a little blending. I've got a piece of tape stuck to my finger there. I've also brought in the fine sparkle gems. Get these opened up. These were in the last catalog, I think August, the last mini catalog, the holiday. Anyway, they're on for clearance, and you could get them on sale. They are a great package of embellishments because you've got the 4 colors here, 4 different colors. I think it's Calypso Coral, Pale Papaya, Soft Sky, or not Soft Sky, Pool Party, and I'm not sure which of these might be Tahitian Tide. You could really use these with any of the blues, but so you've got a nice selection of colors, and there's 160 embellishments here. So I like them because they are flat in as far as the texture, so easy mailing, you don't have any issues there. And we're going to use the color so coral, which is the color of our card stops. Okay, and also in our packet of supplies, which I'm going to give you the measurements, we're using this small strip of designer series paper here. And let me just bring in this. We're using it on another project as well, but I'll just go ahead and give you a peek at it here. So this is the Dandy Designs 12 by 12 pack of paper. It is a 48 sheet pack of 12 by 12 paper, and I'm going to try to give you an idea. It didn't fan very well for me, but good heavens, let me see if I can shift it this way. So you've got all these fun patterns on each side. They're neutrals, but there's pops of color in them. But they're all they go very well with all kinds of different projects. I think this is a great versatile pack. And I've used several of the patterns already out of here. As you can see, there's a few of them that are cut up here. But so this is one that you can earn for free with a $100 purchase. Again, it's a $30 value pack of paper. So great value. All right. So the supplies that we have in front of us, of course, we've got a white envelope, a piece of Calypso coral that is 5.5 by 8.5, 2 pieces of basic white that are 4 by 5.25. We've got a piece of the designer series paper that is, this one is 3/4 of an inch by 4. And then we've got a strip of white that is a 1/2 inch by, this is probably like 5 inches. We're going to cut it off. So you just need like a 1/2 inch strip to put the grading on. And then this is a 1/4 inch by 4 piece of Calypso coral. And if they're your measurements, if they're longer, or shorter, you know, you can kind of adjust because we're going to angle cut them to make the card. And then I've got a die cut piece of basic white from the layering circles. I just went ahead and die cut a circle out of there. So I'll give you 2 different options on how you can put this card together if you do not like to fussy cut. So this is a peek at what we're going to be making. This cute little guy right here. Okay. So I'm going to get started on that. So we're going to take and fold our cardstock in half. And where's my rolling folder? There we go. Flatten that crease. Okay. Get the pieces that we're going to do a little stamping on. All right, so I'm going to bring my foam mat in here because it works really well for just stamping. I've always used it for the photopolymer, but I'm going to go ahead and just grab it for the plain as well. And open up ink pads. All right, so the first one I want to stamp is the little birthday hat, the little owl with the birthday hat on. I'm going to stamp them in the Memento Black. And I'm going to stamp one circle, just like this, okay? And clean them off. And then I want to stamp my grading. I want to go ahead and do the stamping that I'm going to do with the Memento Black so I can close that ink pad. It's not an ink pad that you just want to leave open. I mean, you generally don't just want to leave your ink pads open on your work surface. But when you're working with a Memento Black, you want to, like, you know, get in, get out kind of thing. Like, do what you got to do and then put the lid back on that ink pad. So I'm going to stamp the It's Your Day in the Memento Black, and we're going to go ahead and close that, move that out of the way. Okay, and then I'm going to take this little guy, this one that's kind of flying in, I'm going to put him on the inside. Now we do have this other little one. I like to call him the little professor. He's got the bow tie on there, super cute, but I'm going to use the little one kind of like he's coming in to give a message. And I'm just going to stamp him in the Calypso coral on our lower piece there, like he's popping in and was like, hey, happy birthday. Hey, happy birthday. Okay. And we'll do the same thing on the front of the envelope. So this is where you can stamp these particular images. You can just go ahead and stamp them full on in the color that you're working with, or you can stamp them in a black and color them in. Now, when I'm coloring in with my blends, I wouldn't want to stamp and color on the envelope with my blends unless I was putting a piece of cardboard or something in between because it will bleed through. I'll show you here once I'm done with coloring that. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with all the inking we have to do so I can shut the ink pads up. So I'm going to take my blending brush and swirl that around a little bit on the ink pad, and I'm just going to add some Calypso Coral color. And I'm tapping off on my scrap paper before I go to my cardstock. I'm doing that because usually the color impression is really strong, and I want to eliminate that from coming on my cardstock. I want it to just be a soft shading of color. So you can see that coral there. Okay. So then I'm going to take the It's Your Day again, and we're just going to stamp that kind of all over in no particular order on card front. And I think that'll be good. So it's kind of like it's your day. You know, we're letting somebody know it's their day, it's their celebration, their party. Put that aside. And I want to come in and color with the blends. Now I'm just going to choose the lighter blend to color with. And I'm going to use my broad tip, which I'm just looking at that, and somebody might have got really aggressive at class because that is really pushed down in there. I'm gonna actually have to pull that out because it's barely consistent. Yikes. I think I'm gonna switch ends and I didn't check these after class, but let's hope that, let's hope the other one is not smashed in. So the blends, they color so well that you just barely need to touch. You do not need to like push to where you're seeing like what you're hearing the marker like squeak on your cardstock. If you're hearing that, you're pushing way too hard. The color comes out very easily on the blends. If for some reason you've had your blends for a while, you know, you've done a lot of coloring and you're finding that you have to push that much, chances are you've pretty much depleted the blend of its color. Because when I'm coloring, I just very gently touch the cardstock, and I find that that ink just flows right out of the blend. I've never really found where I've had to push so much that, you know, that would happen. I wonder if this is like, I don't know. See, this one is much better. So that one got a lot of love, and I'm gonna have to see if I can correct that. So, okay. We are ready to assemble our card. Get that little guy. Okay, so what I did was for the class we had the die cut circles, and to allow the ladies the option to put the circle, the owl circle right on their card if they did not want a fussy cut. I went ahead and fussy cut this little guy out beforehand because that's the option I prefer, but everybody can do it differently, of course. So get my adhesive. And okay, we're gonna put that on the front. And I actually should have put my layers on there before I did this, but hey, we're just rolling with it. So it's gonna be all good. Okay, so then I'm gonna take and just angle cut my designer series paper. And I'm gonna angle cut a little bit more because I want that to just kind of come to the end there. Yep, that'll work. And then this little guy, we're gonna put down here. And I want to angle cut the, It's Your Day. Okay, those layers are looking good. I'm happy with that. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for how I wanted to put those on there. So I'm going to start with this little one, the slimline one. We're just going to put that at the base of our front layer. And then, you know, you could always use the other side of this. I just wanted to go with the stars, but this plaid is equally as pretty. And bring that down and leave a little bit of a gap there. And I want to put the greeting on with a couple dimensionals, and these should just fit in there so that you won't be able to see them. Put a couple of those on. And I'm going to put that right between. Love that. Okay. And then we've got our inside layer. Well, my goodness, I can't get that open. I should actually grab this charming sentiments and put the birthday, another birthday greeting on the inside. Which I could do. So again, you could use this one, put it on top there if you don't want a fussy cut. It just still looks cute, kind of still, shows your, you can pop up the little owl and you've still got the It's Your Day behind it. I'm going to use that fussy cut one though. And we'll have some dimensionals here. I'm just going to cut my ends so we can use these little scraps. Okay. And pull the little backs off of those. And put that little guy right there. Okay. So we've got that done. What was I gonna do? I had a thought, and then I was gonna bring a greeting in here. To come back with this charming sentiments one. Let me grab this block. So I'm gonna do the wishing you the happiest of birthdays, so that it's your day that kind of go along really well. Birthday. So why not? We'll bring that in. Open our ink back up. We're gonna hope that I stamp it right because I'm already committed on it. We've got the glue on there, so it's like it's go time. Get it right, or I'll have to rip it off. Very good. Okay, that worked. That worked real nicely. Clean our stamp up. I think that's a great versatile stamp set. So if you're looking for something that offers like all occasion type things, Charming Sentiments is a great set. And plus the dies cut every single one of them out. So if you don't like to fussy cut, this stamp set's for you. It'll cut out every single one of these greetings. Okay, so now we got to add some embellishments. So bring these guys back in and take one on our greeting. And we're going to put another, let's see. Here. Here. Got 3 on there. I tend to do like in uneven numbers as far as how I put embellishments on. That's what works for me. Okay, there we go. We've got our card and our envelope, a cute little birthday card. I like that. That turned out really nice. I'm happy with that. Okay, let me get the supplies for the other card and I'll be right back. Okay. All right, so this next one that we're going to do is going to use the Dandy Designs paper. So again, the celebration pack, we're going to use these 2 patterns actually out of this pack. So I've grabbed that, cut those items up that we're going to need. And then we're using the Something Fancy stamp set along with the Something Fancy dies. So they're a little jumbled here, but these 3 kind of nestle in the same shape. So you've got 3 of this particular one. So Stampin' Up! Has finally named the dies the same as the stamp set, making it much easier for demonstrators to remember the names and stampers in general. So these 2 are bundled together and in the January through April catalog. And again, notice I said January through April. Our previous like spring catalogs have gone like January to May or June, so 5 to 6 months. This one is only available for 4 months. So if you see something that you like in there, I highly encourage you to order it sooner rather than later. So, because it could sell out. And we, of course, never know what is carrying over. So this is a great verse set. It offers a variety of different greetings. And it's got a couple different fonts in there to kind of mix it up so it can be like casual, dressy, whimsical, that type of thing with the different fonts. I like that. I like the versatility of it. And of course, these dies, I will find that I think these are going to be really very usable in future projects as well. So we're using those two. We're also using the hand-drawn dots, which is in the January through April catalog, and that is a large background stamp that I've got already mounted. Then we are using Balmy Blue ink and Coastal Cabana ink. And that's it. We're ready to get started. So let me show the supplies we've got in here. Okay, so we've got our envelope, white envelope. Then we've got a piece of Balmy Blue that's cut 5.5 by 8.5. I've gone ahead and done our die cutting for us. So again, we've got those dies that die cut and they'll make a nested layer. And I've done the largest in Coastal Cabana, then the middle one in Balmy Blue, and then of course a white one. And then I've cut some designer series paper strips, and I have two of the same pattern that are 1 inch by 4 1/4. And then two of another pattern that are 1 inch by 3 inches. And then I've got my inside piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. That'll be for our inside layer. So we're going to start by folding our cardstock in half. And then begin to stamp. And I was going to say, where's my stamp mat? I need that little guy. Okay, so we're going to start by stamping. Now, the greeting that I chose is that I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. And it's from the Something Fancy stamp set, because how many of us have done that? We have, thought, oh, I got to send so-and-so a birthday card. The birthday comes, flies by, and you're like, oh my goodness, I forgot. Just sometimes life happens. It's we get that. So this is the card. This is the preview of the card that we're going to make. We're going to layer up those label images. And then at the inside of the card. So let me share with you how we created this. You know what? I just realized I forgot those gems. I forgot the gems that I used. So we'll grab some gems. I've got plenty here. So we'll grab some too. Add those on there because I think that I put them in the kits, and I think I might have ran out of that particular one. If I'm being honest, because I don't have them here anymore, so that makes me think that. So I'm going to ink the stamp up in the Coastal Cabana. Now, let me take a little side note here. So when at the class, what I did for the ladies was I went ahead, because when I mounted this stamp, you can tell, I mounted it. It's a little crooked. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was obviously doing something at the same time. So we're not paying full attention because the sticker sheet is off a little bit. So I lined it up in here for the ladies and put a template on my Stamparatus and put just, make sure this is at the top and this is at the side. And as long as it's in the corner and you put your label here, because I went ahead and die cut a label out of my template, I had the stamp mounted here. So they just had to ink stamp down. This is a great way to do things. Like if you're making multiples of the same card and you don't want to be bothered with having to line it up every time you die cut and make sure it's in, you just want to die cut a bunch of labels. This is a great way to do it, because then you can line up your stamp and just ink and stamp and ink and stamp. It simplifies the process. But when the class is over with, I took the stamp off, and so it's not set on there like it was. But I'm gonna give it a go and we'll see if I can line this thing up. So if not, I do have a backup. So, and excuse me if my noggin is in the way top here. We're gonna see if I stamp this anywhere close. I'm a I'm a little off. I mean, it's not bad. It, it's not bad. Not bad. So, and that's really just because I mounted my sticker um, a little off. So we're done with the coastal cabana. I was just stamping the greeting in that. We're gonna come in with the balmy blue. And I'm gonna ink this up, and I'm just gonna ink the lower portion or just one side of it because I just want a small strip here. I don't want the whole stamp, so there's no reason to ink the whole thing. I'm gonna turn it sideways. So now I'm gonna turn it this way. And just kind of put that on about, oh, an inch up, I would say. I mean, we'll see how close I am to that once I remove stamp. And not too bad. That's pretty good. That's just about what I wanted there. So I put those little dots in there to kind of pull the inside design or the outside design of the card inside. And then I'm going to use this happy birthday, stamp that down at the base. So instead of, I've gotten to where I start like stamping the greetings on the inside lower because then it's not right in the middle of your writing area. So that's just my personal preference. All right. And then I want to do the envelope. And to do that, I'm just going to tuck my envelope into my paper piercing mat cover. This is just copy paper put over top of it. I oftentimes will put the white copy paper over it, but when I'm stamping on white, sometimes that can be a little challenging. So I've got some fluorescent paper there. Hopefully that's not too hard on the eyes. So I'm going to go about halfway on this one because I want to do this entire flap with some dots. And two. Down. And we'll hope for the best on this one. Push down. Okay. Nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. I got the whole envelope flap, so that'll coordinate nicely with the card. Just set that aside. Go ahead and close the ink. And we're ready to layer and assemble our card. Just greeting it. Okay. So I'm going to start by layering our labels for a greeting. Tombow adhesive on that one. I'm going to layer that with the Coastal Cabana one. Okay. Got the liquid adhesive on there, so I was like, oh, that's a little bit tilted. So I just wanted to just push it over a bit. That's the great thing about the Tombow is that you've got a little time to reposition things if they don't go exactly where you want them. And then I do want to pop this up. So I'm going to just snip some of my dimensionals. Just use the last one up. I'll put that in the center. Okay. All right, then I want to create my card front with these designs with the designer series paper. So I'm going to. So what I did was when I set these on my card, I went ahead and just kind of create about 1/8 of an inch border. When I say that, I mean 1/8 of an inch of the balmy blue on the side and the top. So I was like, if I keep it consistent that way, I felt like I would have, it was an easy way to space my card to know that I was going to have enough space. So see, I put this one right in place. And I've got that 1/8 of an inch carrying over, and down the side, I've got that gap in between the layers. So it's working out nicely. And then I'll do the same with these lower ones. And I just take it around in a circle, or around in a rectangle, I guess I should say. A circle, because the card is not circular. So put that one in place. And then bring our last piece in. Okay. And I'm going to take the little paper tabs off here. That's stuck to my finger. And put that right in the center. Ah, oh, just like stuck down there. Like, so there we go. Okay. And then I'm going to put that inside layer in there. I just love that hand-drawn dots background stamp. It goes perfect with this designer series paper. Then you could stamp it in pretty much any color, and it gives that, it lends itself to that whimsical kind of look that the paper has. So I love that. Okay, so we've got our envelope, we've got our card. I need to put some embellishments on here, which I ran out of what we had. So I'm just, you know what, I'll grab these in color. These are the 20, 21, 23 in color gems. And I'll just grab those. And we're going to use this, the soft, soft succulent, even though that isn't the color. I think when I put them on here, it's going to nicely complement, if I could actually line them up. It's going to complement the color scheme. So I think that looks nice. It picks up the greens and the blues within the design. There we go. What do you think? Yeah, I was really happy with this design. This is a great way to use your designer series paper and get a couple patterns on the paper by using the strips. So I think that's a simple, easy card to make, and you can make it for any occasion. Some of the ladies made this a get well card, and someone actually also made it a sympathy card. So I think, you know, whatever works best for you for what you want to send. All right, let me clean this space up and I'll be right back with another project. Okay, here we go. All right, so we are on a roll here. We've got, this is project number 4. And on this card here, this is what we're going to make. Give you a sneak peek at it. This little beauty here with sending happy thoughts, because that could cover a lot of things. Any happy occasion that verse is going to work for. So I'm going to show you how to create this fun card. Okay, so on the supplies, we are using the Cane Weave embossing folder. This is a new folder that is in the new mini catalog, January through April. We're also using the Elegant Faceted Gems. You'll find these in the big annual catalog. And we're going to use the petal pink ones because that's one of the colors. But you also have like this vanilla one and then like a clear in here. These are really beautiful and they're low profile too, so very easy for mailing. Then we are using the Beautifully Happy stamp set. This is a 2-step stamp set. And it is a celebration item. So let me see if I can get focused so you can see the greetings that are on there. It is a $100 level purchase item. So it contains, of course, floral images. You've got liner images and then solid ones that color the images in, and they are distinctive. So you'll get some depth to that imagery. And then you've got some great verses in here for like for a feel better kind of day, sending happy thoughts, a very happy birthday, kindness matters, thank you, and you are easy to love. So some great verses with different fonts in here. And this is a photopolymer stamp set. We are also using the Happy Labels, a Pick-a-Punch. So this gives you 2 designs to pick from, a little mini scalloped edge, and this one kind of is more like a ticket edge. We're going to use the little mini scallop. I'm using the rectangled stitch dies. I've used the 2nd and 3rd from the largest, and I've gone ahead and die cut those out. These give a great little added extra texture to your die cuts. And then the inks that we're using are Gray Granite, Petal Pink, and Pear Pizzazz. Also, the designer series paper on this one, I know we've used the Dandy Designs on a couple of the different projects, but this one is actually a host set. So this is the Design a Daydream 12 by 12 pack of paper. It is a 48 sheet pack of paper, just like the celebration one. And I've used several designs out of here, so there are some that are like not in here. But this is a Hostess exclusive pack of paper. It's a $30 value. As a hostess, you can choose this with your hostess dollars and get it for $18. So that is a great, great value. You can see all these different colors, patterns, some really great fun patterns. And this would actually looked like this matches the flowers that were in that Ringed in Nature stamp set. I just noticed that. So anyway, I've selected this paper out of here. That's the other side of it. And that's what I did the die cutting out of. So we've got our envelope. And then we've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz that's 5.5 by 8.5. We've got a piece of Basic White that is 4 by 5.25. Another piece of, well, not the same size, but Pear Pizzazz, and it is a 5.25 by 4. Did I say this the wrong way? I think I might have given the wrong. These are both 4 by 5.25 on the measurements. I'm going to reverse that one when I'm saying it. And then I've gone ahead and die cut the stitched rectangles. And let me see if I can see it on the camera there. So you can see that stitching that's on the camera in those dies. So it gives just a little element of texture. And I've done that in the Design a Daydream Designer Series paper. And then some Basic White. And then I have a small piece of Petal Pink, and that is 7/8 by 2.5. So just a small piece for our greeting. So I'm going to start by folding our card base in half. So we've got a Pear Pizzazz card base. Fold that in half. Where's my phone folder? I keep missing it. I keep sliding it on the side and then find it. Okay. And first what we're going to do is take, so we've got our Pear Pizzazz cardstock. We're going to take and put that in the Cane Weave embossing folder. And on this particular folder, Stampin' Up! Gives you this nice reference line at the base. It is ideal to use with this particular folder. Actually, anytime they put it on there, they're recommending that you use it because as you notice this folder, if you put it in there a little bit, you know, like it's off and at an angle, your design, because it's like the grid, the cane weaving, it's going to be off and it's going to throw your card off. So you definitely want to use that reference line when running it through the cut and emboss machine. So when you do that, running that through using the 3D plate, this is what you get, this beautifully embossed piece of cardstock. So really, really nice. The texture is great. We're going to set that aside. We need to do some stamping on this. Set these aside. So everything that I've got to stamp on, I'm going to bring in the camera frame. I've got a lot of stamps already on blocks because I pretty much used a good bit of what was in the stamp set. Beautiful stamp set. You could stamp it in and of itself without using, without coloring it in just a color. Like, for example, I would do the envelope. And I'm going to use the large blossom. And I'm just going to stamp that on the side. So it's going to go with our card. It's going to complement the design, but it's just done in the petal pink. Easy way to do the envelope. And there it's done. You don't have to color it in. It still looks nice. So next, what we're going to do is I've chosen the gray granite to stamp our blossoms on because I felt like Memento Black was just going to be too stark of a color. I wanted something that was soft, yet it established define the lines of the stamp image, but didn't overpower the color that you're then going to stamp on it. So I'm going to take this single blossom and stamp that in the gray granite. And clean that off because we're going to use that on the inside of our card. And then I'm going to use the larger kind of bouquet stem of flowers, a larger one. Okay. And let's see how I want to put this. I'm going to angle it this way. And put that down. Using my foam mat here, ideal so that you can get a good transfer of the image. Okay, now we're going to color in. So I do want to stamp my greeting in the gray granite, and then I'll shut that too. So on my petal pink piece, I'm going to ink up the sending happy thoughts and stamp that. And then set that aside. I'll punch that out in just a minute. Okay, so now we're going to build the colors of our flower. We're done with the gray granite, so let's move this out of the way. Bring our colors in. And I'm going to start with the leaves. And those are, I did not re-ink these after class yet, so we'll see. See how they're stamped with color. So what I like to do, I'm just kind of hover over the leaves, and I'm looking at multiple spots on the image before I stamp it down, because it's photopolymer and I've got a nice clear block. You can see through there. And look how that's stamped in there. It looks like I watercolored it and then stamped it all the work. It is so beautiful. Like the color and the definition that it gives. So then I'm going to do the same thing with the petal pink. Line up my flowers. So, just lining up separate points. Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. Like, this stamp set is so pretty. We'll go ahead and do the Insight Blossom while I've got that color out, and I'm just going to line that up just the same. Stamp down. I could stamp with this stamp set like all day. It's just so pretty. And you could do it in different colors, which I think I have a stamp mat here with the blue, because I was kind of deciding, do I want to do some petal pink or pool party? I'll grab my mat that I was playing on it with and show you. And again, just lining up. Here we go. And then I've even got a little stamp to do like the bud and the stem on this little guy. There we go. Now I did not, yeah, there they are. I always had that, I grabbed my Stampin' Right markers, because there's a little stamp to do this inside of the flower, but I'm just gonna stamp it with my marker, or ink it with my marker, so I can give it a little bit more depth. I made it a little darker there. So I just used the Stampin' Right marker and the Pear Pizzazz. And I brought the Pear Pizzazz in case I wanted to color in anything. Okay, what? Got those all in here. Got all my stamping done. Right, we're gonna shut the inks. We're ready to, I've got to punch my grading, and then we're ready to assemble. Okay, so on the Happy Labels punch, this is featured in the January through April catalog, and there's a really cute stamp set that it goes with. We'll definitely be using that here on a class video soon. But so I'm inserting my cardstock through the channel, the side that I want. And then I like to flip the punch over, okay, so that I can see that it is butted up against the back of the punch before I squeeze that and then take that end off. It reveals that little edge. And then I'm going to flip that around and do the same thing. So going in through the front, and then making sure it's lined up against the back of the punch, giving it a push. And we've got that design. All right, so we've got all of our pieces and parts. We are ready to assemble. Where is my adhesive? My goodness. So you could use either side of this embossing folder. It's really a design preference. So there's no right or wrong way. I'm going to use the Tombow liquid adhesive. Gives me time to kind of position that. So this is going to be a tone on tone with the Pear Pizzazz, but you've got that nice texture, so it really offsets the card front. And then I'm going to come in with my inside layer. Oh. And that down. One of the ladies that came to class this week, Jeannie. She came to class. It was her birthday when she came to class. She's like, that's what I love to do. I was going to spend my birthday stamping. And I love that. Jeannie, so she's such a sweet lady. So I love that she chose to spend her birthday stamping with the rest of us. I mean, I stamp on my birthday too. I love it. Okay, I'm going to put that designer series paper down. So this one I just angled on there. So I've got that angled on my card front. And this one I'm going to put pretty much square, you know, keep it straight within the borders of the card. I'm not going to angle it on there, although I suppose you could. If you're not one to like angle things, you could take this and tweak it. This die cut is made to give you like a 1/4 inch layer around, so they would layer over top of one another and you would still get that design behind either one would look nice. Okay, so I'm going to add on and just kind of look at my spacing here. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little adhesive on my label piece. And we're going to tuck that in just underneath that little stem or the little leaf on the stem there. Push that down. Okay. And then I want to add a gem. So let me use up this pack here on this. I'm just going to put a gem. One of those elegant faceted gems right in the center. So I'll take my take your pick tool, put that right in the center. And there we go. I've got a little card there. Super, super pretty. I love this one. It's right up my alley. It's got flowers on it. I mean, that's my jam, like flowers, butterflies, all things girly. I'm all in. Use pink on it. Okay, trying to clear up my space here so I can like bring in the cards and put them in the, so we've got that one. Then we did this one. Try to put them so you've got the envelope in the way or with them. Then we've got our little adorable owls here. And the Ringed in Nature stamp set. So those are the projects that we did today. I hope that you enjoyed them and you got some great ideas, some just different ways to see the celebration items being used. And like I said, if there's anything that we used in today's class or that you have questions about, you can always just email me at stampmecrazy@sbcglobal.net. You can shop my online store at the stampingyoucrazy.stampinup.net. This is my current hostess code. As always, totally appreciate your orders. I'm so grateful for those and everyone that supports my small creative business. Just very, very grateful for that opportunity to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Let me switch this camera around. Okay. That was a stamping frenzy and all the little things that I was like, oh, I thought I had, and then I didn't. So I appreciate your patience while I was like running around to get them done or grab what we needed. So thank you so much for joining me for the escape for creativity time. On this cold Ohio day. I don't know, wherever you are at, I hope it's warm and sunny. And if it's not, if it's cold, I hope that you are enjoying some creative time in your stamping room or your space or your table or wherever you have to kind of set up those that little space for you to create and send, create that paper sunshine, as I like to call it, and send it to brighten somebody's day. So that's all I've got for today. Thanks for stamping with me. Until next time. Bye, Stampers.